Today, Samsung unveiled the Galaxy S24 line, bringing with it AI. Now, don't call all the other smartphones dumb phones, because they're all called smartphones for a reason. Let's get into it. This is the Samsung Galaxy S24, and it looks very similar to its predecessor, with the biggest difference being the flat sides, which are reminiscent of recent iPhones. Now, they also move the flash down ever so slightly, and the S24 has a tougher armor aluminum frame with a matte finish rather than a gloss finish. So we're not only going to look at this, but also the S24 Plus, which is obviously bigger. Before we move on, let's cover pricing. The S24 starts off at $800 for a 128GB model, and you'll have to pay $860 for 256GB, which is unchanged from the S23. Now, as for the S24 Plus, it starts off at $1,000 for a base 256GB, or you can pay $1,120 for a 512GB model. Now, the S24 comes with 8GB of RAM, whereas the S24 Plus comes with 12GB of RAM. Pre-orders have already started, and if you do pre-order, you can get a free storage upgrade, which is a nice perk. Both devices are available in 4 colors, those being Onyx Black, Marble Gray, Cobalt Violet, and Amber Yellow. There are also 3 online exclusive colors, those being Jade Green, Sapphire Blue, and Sandstone Orange. Now, let me know what you think of the colors in the comments below. Now onto the specs. Both devices use the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy in the United States, with the for Galaxy suffix indicating the processors perform better than a standard Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 would. While in Europe, it comes with Samsung's Exynos 2400 for Galaxy chip. Like I mentioned, the S24 comes with 8GB of RAM, while the S24 Plus comes with 12GB of RAM, regardless of storage. Battery capacities are up slightly versus last year, with the S24 having a 4000 mAh battery and the S24 Plus having a 4900 mAh battery. The triple rear camera setup remains with a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom. However, the more interesting changes are on the software side, where there's AI photo editing tricks, which I'll get into all that AI stuff later because it is pretty neat. Plus, there's also better support for HDR photos, which can be taken in third-party social apps like Instagram and Snapchat. The S24's display retains its 1080p resolution, whereas the S24 Plus's display gets bumped up to a 1440p resolution. Peak brightness is up from 1750 nits on the S23 to 2600 nits on the S24. So using the S24 or S24 Plus should be easier when outdoors. The S24 is also the first Galaxy S series flagship to support a 1Hz to 120Hz adaptive refresh rate. The S23 could only go between 48Hz to 120Hz, so the S24 will be more frugal in terms of power consumption. On the outside, both devices continue to use Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Now, this is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and it has some changes too. For one, it has a flat display, so no more curved displays. It also uses a titanium frame, like the iPhone 15 Pro, instead of an aluminum frame. But unlike Apple, Samsung did not use the material to make the phone lighter, because after all, titanium is heavier than aluminum, but rather they used it to make the phone more durable. And like the S24 and S24 Plus that we discussed earlier, the S24 Ultra also has flat edges. Pricing for the S24 Ultra starts at $1,300 for the 256GB model, a $100 increase over the S23 Ultra, $1,420 for the 512GB model, and $1,660 for the 1TB model. Now the S24 Ultra has 12GB of RAM regardless of which storage option you choose. And pre-orders have already started, and if you choose to do so, you can get a free storage upgrade. And all three models go on sale at the end of the month. Colors for the S24 Ultra include titanium black, titanium gray, titanium violet, and titanium yellow, with online exclusive colors including titanium green, titanium blue, and titanium orange. Let me know how you like these colors in the comments below. In terms of specs, the Galaxy S24 Ultra also uses the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy chip in the United States. The camera doesn't see too many changes hardware-wise, except they swapped the 10 megapixel 10x zoom lens for a 50 megapixel 5x zoom lens, which can use a lossless crop zoom to get to 10x. Even though it's no longer a native focal length, Samsung says the image quality at 10x should be improved over the S23 Ultra. It also features an improved cooling system with a vapor chamber that is said to be more than 93% larger than the one in the S23 Ultra. If you're playing a game with ray tracing, you'll most likely notice this more advanced heat dissipation. Now, the S24 Ultra retains its 6.8-inch 1440p OLED display with a 120Hz top refresh rate. On the outside, the S24 Ultra uses Corning's Gorilla Armor, which Corning says is the most scratch-resistant, optically advanced Gorilla Glass yet. A headline feature for the S24 series was Galaxy AI, which is Samsung's new on-device and cloud-based AI model. Its functions are powered by Google's Gemini family, with the Gemini Nano enabling text-based tools and Gemini Pro for tasks like translating audio. Of course, this includes AI-powered photo editing tools where users can erase or modify the position of objects within the image, as well as filling in images' borders to correct a crooked photo. You can also turn any video into a 120 FPS slow motion video after the fact, regardless of the mode, frame rate, or camera. It uses AI to interpolate the missing frames and can be pretty convincing. There is also Circle to Search with Google, which is probably the most self-explanatory name one could come up with, where long pressing the home button prompts a screen overlay where you can tap or circle an object to perform an image-based Google search, and because the results are presented on top of your existing screen or app, exiting the interface simply returns you to where you left off. Chat Assist is a feature for when you don't know how to appropriately phrase a message, in which case the AI can provide alternatives in different tones, including casual and formal tones. Transcript Assist can transcribe, translate, and summarize voice memes and text in the Samsung Notes app. And to take things further, you can modify how the summary is presented, whether it's bulleted or written in paragraphs. Now, you know those real-time translators? Yeah, you're not going to be needing those anymore, because part of Galaxy AI is Live Translate, which runs on the device, obviously. With it, you can not only hear real-time translations, but also see transcriptions of them when you're on a phone call, and the recipient will hear you in their spoken language as well. Now, on a side note, Galaxy AI is not replacing Bixby. If you found this helpful, then please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you next time.